to our people, especially the services that we provide to our country. Mr. Speaker, I would mainly like for expressing my thanks, especially on behalf of the government, for the work that the House had me doing over the last 3 weeks in passing the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. So I express my sincere appreciation to all members for their constructive engagement, thoughtful deliberation, and valuable contribution during the consideration and passage of 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. So the budget process has been benefited greatly from the depth of debate, the perspective, especially the different specific and observation that this House, especially the Public Accounts Committee and members, for scrutinizing the budget, Mr. Speaker. So the members' contributions have strengthened the budget and ensure that it reflects not only the policy priorities of the unit government, but also collective will and aspiration of our people as articulated through different, especially of the elected representatives from different constituencies. Mr. Speaker, throughout the budget debate, honorable members raised issues of national importance, highlighting the reality faced by our people. Members also spoke passionately about the need to improve service delivery and address infrastructure gaps across the country, the support to productive sector, and recognizing private sector and key stakeholders, and ensure that public resources are used efficiently and equitable. Such contributions are very essence of parliamentary democracy, and they serve to remind us that budget is not just a government document, but it is government transformative fiscal plan outlining policy priorities and implementation strategy in short to medium term and even long term, Mr. Speaker. So I wish to again extend my recognition and appreciation, especially to you, sir, and members of this House for wonderful job done in terms of debate and, of course, through the committee state, and then you may pass him the budget, Mr. Speaker. So the PAC committee has once again demonstrated its crucial role through its independent and professionalism scrutiny of the budget, the examination of allocation, fiscal assumptions, and implementation framework has enhanced transparency, accountability, and fiscal discipline. That shows how, as this House continues to perform its function through the budget process. The work of PAC continues to reinforce public confidence in our public financial management system and underscore Parliament's essential oversight role in safeguarding public funds entrusted to the government. Mr. Speaker, I value the contribution of all members as vital in strengthening governance, improving fiscal outcome, and promoting responsible stewardship of national resources. The recommendation and observation of members of this House will continue to inform effort to improve planning, execution, and reporting of public funds through the budget. The effectiveness of budget depends on quality of strategy, efficiency of implementation, and integrity of our institution managing it. Chair, during the course of budget debate, honorable members raised a wide range of key issues, concerns, and recommendations. These include matters relating to adequacy and prioritization of sectoral allocation, the peace and also service delivery, support for vulnerable populations including women, youth, and children, or even our people with special needs. Mr. Speaker, let me touch on how government continue to work closely with members, especially our partners, in implementing the budget, Mr. Speaker. Let me emphasize key areas as we continue, especially in the objectives of 2026 budget. The budget has been carefully designed to promote sustainable and inclusive economic growth, recognizing the need to balance fiscal responsibility with developmental imperatives. It seeks to expand, especially in areas that can create growth, employment, and also to continue with important services that we are to deliver to our people. Of course, Chair, as you know from the budget, that the focus is mainly on areas of growth, especially in the productive sector, like agriculture, as others already dwell on that during the debate, tourism, fisheries, and also, say, manufacturing, small and medium enterprises. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, the budget aims to increase our national productivity capacity by diversifying, investing in infrastructure, human capital, and enabling systems that support private sector development. And the Prime Minister, when moving this motion, also alluded, especially in enabling environment, and electricity tariff is also one of these, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, inclusivity and resilience are key pillars of 2026 budget. The budget seeks to ensure development benefits and shared equitable across our provinces. That's something sometimes debated over the years, that sometimes government resources were not distributed low of the provinces, and that sometimes raises issue of disunity across the country. Mr. Speaker, let me now emphasizing the strategy for implementation of the 2026 budget. Turning to implementation, the government is fully aware that the credibility of budget rests not only on formulation, but on its effective execution. Accordingly, the government strategy for budgeting implementation is anchored on prudent fiscal rules, strengthened public financial management system, and strict adherence to appropriation. Mr. Speaker, my ministry will continue to prioritize the timely and predictable release of funds to ministry and agency in line with cash management plans and fiscal targets. As some members also highlighted that earlier, Mr. Speaker, especially how we can effectively implement the budget, and due to cash flow problem that sometimes you may experience. Mr. Speaker, our target for early next year to secure funds so that UMISAV implementing budget early. We're targeting from, as you know, from time tabling budget, the rollover of 170 million. Of course, we target more than that, Mr. Speaker, and also to secure funding, especially on our domestic borrowing early as possible, and already work on that we started, Mr. Speaker. So we will reinforce performance-based monitoring and reporting framework to ensure that spending is aligned with intended outcomes and that progress is tracked transparently. Enhanced coordination across ministry agencies and development partners will be pursued to reduce duplication, address bottlenecks, and maximize the impact of public investment. Mr. Speaker, the capacity building remains a critical enabler of effective budget implementation. The government will continue to invest in strengthening institutional capacity across public service, particularly in areas such as planning, budgeting, procurement, financial management, and project implementation and reporting. These efforts are essential to improving efficiency, accountability, and service delivery outcomes. Mr. Speaker, while the 2026 budget set out a clear and forward-looking plan, we must remain mindful of the risk and uncertainty that continues to confront our economy. Especially, Mr. Speaker, the global economic volatility or external shocks, fluctuating commodity price, climate-related impact or disaster, and domestic capacity constraint. All these challenges to economic stability and fiscal sustainability is important to address this, Mr. Speaker. That managing this risk will require vigilant adaptability and prudent decision-making, especially the government. In this context, Mr. Speaker, I call for continued collaboration and partnership among all ministries, and also as the oversight role that the Parliament is playing, Mr. Speaker. That, Mr. Speaker, I call on all our partners, our development partner, private sector, civil society, and other stakeholders, that successful delivery of the 2026 budget and our national priority is shared responsibility. By working together, Mr. Speaker, we can strengthen our resilient, support economic recovery and growth, and ensure public resources deliver real and benefit for our people. Mr. Speaker, as we prepare to adjourn Sine-Die, I wish to reaffirm my ministry commitment to upholding the trust placed on us by Parliament and our people, that we will continue to manage the country finance with integrity, transparency, and discipline, guided by principle of accountability and service to our people. And I continue to call, especially on all of us, to work together to help to do what is good for our people and for our country. Mr. Speaker, as others also allude to some of the areas that government need to look at in terms of implementing the budget, especially some policy intention that I highlight during the tabling of the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, government, with the support with all stakeholders, we will continue to work to address these challenges, Mr. Speaker. So already some instructions are given to stakeholders, especially the financial institutions, SOEs, and also government agencies that we can partner together as our way forward in implementing the budget, Mr. Speaker. So I think by me brief no more, and so by me like for move on, especially for acknowledging you, me, Mr. Speaker, as you may continue for adjourn this house and go for Christmas. So let me first, Mr. Speaker, like for thanking you especially from important role that you play here in terms of your preside over the deliberation of budget and the clerk and the staff of the Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Me like for thanking you for that very important duty that you performing as Speaker of Parliament and of course clerk and staff of Parliament. So as others of the call, especially for government, for in terms of financing that treating Parliament for having different from the executive, that's very important and it's something that Speaker Parliament can work closely with him, government going forward, so that you may address him, especially in terms of resourcing National Parliament, Mr. Speaker. So, me also like for thanking the Honourable Prime Minister, especially Jinat government, for continue for leading country. I mean, easy times we may continue for growing economy and also making sure that services that you may deliver to our people have continue. Have not easy. You may thank him with the leadership of the Honourable Prime Minister, the Jinat government, and of course, members of Parliament, as you may continue for representing our people and continue to deliver services to our people. Me like for thanking each one, especially as you may by adjourn and go for Christmas, Mr. Speaker. So me also like for touch on constituency. So me quite challenging in terms of how you may try for implementing CDF Act in also for you may try to align with realities that happen on the ground, especially to address situations that facing constituency, especially communities and our people. Have me a little bit hard because the practice in the past and then transition in terms of enforcing the CDF Act. I think it's important that government for by look at how you may continue for improve law CDF Act compare with the practical or realities that you may administer this fund, Mr. Speaker. So in terms of constituency growth center, I think with this policy, something that you may continue to improve on, and also resource allocation for helping me in terms of how you may deliver services, especially low rural areas. So, me also like for come for wisdom you me, especially as you me now going towards Christmas. Especially, Mr. Speaker, you and your family and the staff of Parliament, Honourable Prime Minister and family, members of Cabinet, Government Caucus, Office of the Opposition and Independent, So, me wishing you for a blessed Christmas as you may go and share with people below me or celebrating Christmas. Remember the birth of our Lord Jesus. I think any time that you may continue to share what now are the important things that you may continue to work with him or people below you may serve. Mr. Speaker, on that note, may also extend my best wishes to the Chief Justice, the Lordship, and the staff of our court system, Mr. Speaker. Wish him a blessed Christmas, and also you may look forward for 2026, a new and hope fresh year as by you may continue more, Mr. Speaker. So, finally, me like for, on behalf of good people below me, Law Fatla constituency. Chair, me like for thank you, Mother, for understanding, cooperation, and support given to me as the representative Lord Disfall House, Mr. Speaker. My call for my people, Mr. Speaker, continue for me work in support for developing constituency, and so me hope as of next year you may continue for work together for deliver improve services, and especially connecting constituency as a priority, especially for connecting constituency infrastructure. And so, as in one of the meetings with him, every leaders, if I agree that the Shipment Block constituency bylaw January down. And so, me hope by January down, by me first team constituency with team shipment. And the priority, especially for connecting road law constituency, and of course, improve law services, especially law, health, education, and of course, improve standard of living. Hemno is here especially for improving living standard. Hemi one fala challenging thing, but me hope through the support that you may by put them together, by help them constituency, Mr. Speaker. With that, Mr. Speaker, me wish him, my good people of Atlaga, a blessed Christmas. Remember, every time for you me, forgive each other, share together, and pray for one another, as you may remember him. Time Jesus had me born for restore him, humankind, Mr. Speaker. With that, Mr. Speaker, me wish him, my people, and looking forward for 2026, and me one for a prosperous year for continue work for delivering services to our people. With that, Mr. Speaker, me supporting the motion, and I'm resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable MP for West Kwarai. You have the floor first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing the Honourable Member of Parliament for West Kwarai constituency, and also the Chairman for Health Parliamentary Standing Committee. Thank you for giving me this opportunity for me contribute towards this motion that at the adjournment of the Parliament on Wednesday 17 December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded, and the Parliament shall then stand adjourned, motion adjourned Sine-Die. But before me proceed, Mr. Speaker, me like for thanking Prime Minister for moving this motion and allowing you me contribute to this motion. And secondly, me like for thank him, our Almighty God, for the Creator and Sustainer of all things, for His guidance, wisdom, mercy, love throughout this year. Truly, without His blessing, we could not have come this far. Sir, this is my first debate in the Honorable House as a government backbencher since joining 11th Parliament, and I am both humble, honored, and to contribute to this motion today. Mr. Speaker, sir, as the Chairman of Health and Medical Service Standing Committee, me like to take this opportunity to reflect on the work of the committee during this session. We have made progress in some areas, but we have also faced challenges that shows our work and tested our resolve. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the challenges where Mifala Garem during this year now is the attendance law ogata committee deliberative meetings for Mifala to form a quorum during other meetings. Here I now one for a challenge where Mifala find him, and that is why Hemilebet Slom Samfala Wakablo Mifala. Not only that, Mr. Speaker, but other budget constraints where Mifala experience him too when he slowed down ogata wakablo Mifala. Mr. Speaker, me wish to emphasize the importance of establishing a parliamentary calendar. A calendar will help us manage our work more effectively both in the parliament and in our constituencies. Mifala believe that having this something by him calendar will make him other things easier for Yumi and ensure that parliamentary business and constituency visits by Yumi have balance him and by Yumi have balance and well organizing. Mr. Speaker, my committee will continue to make greater use of the question time and forms and other forms of legislative engagement to keep health services at the center of our national priorities. We will also continue to advocate for the increased funding for parliamentary committees so that oversights across all standing committees can be carried out effectively. Mr. Speaker, my committee looks forward to completing its outstanding task in the first and the second quarter. Mr. Speaker, Health and Medical Committee remains committed to its mandate, but commitment alone is not enough, Mr. Speaker. We must ensure that the members attend regularly, that resources are sufficient, and that engagement is active. Only then we can deliver the outcomes expected of us and uphold the trust that the people have placed in our committee. Before we conclude, Lord, this for the first part of speech below me, Mr. Speaker, I wish to place my record my sincere appreciation. I acknowledge the dedication of my fellow committee members whose contributions have been vital in our work. I also extended my gratitude to you, Honorable Speaker, for your guidance and leadership, and to the clerk for his professional support during our this year session. Mr. Speaker, by me move on more lo other matters where me looking that the government moving forward should give some consideration to. I wish to highlight an issue of a pressing issue here, Mr. Speaker. This regarding not this other tax administration law, The Inland Revenue Division continues to face a capacity constraint in enforcing tax laws effectively. This has led in some cases to excessive tax charges, penalties on business houses, often without clear explanation. Government support and very essential, here, Mr. Speaker, training, professional development, and capacity building for the tax officers below me. Something where me looking at our tax officers below me, not take them also one for a luxury no more. They are necessities ensuring that compliance, fairness, efficiency in our tax system. Many of our MSMEs, particularly those trading locally, faces disproportionate tax burdens here, Mr. Speaker. Unlike exporters, larger industries, they often lack exemptions or incentives, making survival a daily struggle. Mr. Speaker, I urge the government to consider tax relief and support measures for the local businesses below UMI. Doing so will enable them to grow, create jobs, and contribute meaningfully to our economy without being overburdened. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wish to express my full support for the Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Bill and the proposed MSME authority. As a private entrepreneur myself, I know that this bill is not merely a legislation, it is a lifeline for local entrepreneurs, for the small business owners, and for our communities. MSMEs are the backbone of our economy. Auto creating staka job too, Mr. Speaker. They even strengthen families. They build communities. Yet, without legal recognition and support, they struggle to survive. The MSME authority, as proposed, will provide structure, recognition, and support. It will equip entrepreneurs with tools to grow, access finance, and create opportunities for Solomon Islanders across the country. I urge the government to prioritize this bill next year. Let us empower our people, strengthen our economy, and uplift our communities. The time for UMI Act me this time now. Mr. Speaker, I also commend the GNAT government through its diligent officials for the gazettal of the Special Economic Zones Act 2025. With this act now in force, it is both timely and necessary for the government to develop a clear and comprehensive policy framework. Such a framework must guide the implementation of SEZs, including the model to be adopted to ensure transparent, coordinated, and effective development that drives industrialization, job creation, export growth, balanced regional development. Mr. Speaker, as we adjourn this parliament, it is an opportune moment to reflect not only on what we have achieved, but on the lessons from our nation's political journey. Solomon Island has experienced both stability and instability. While stability is our aspiration, history reminds us that instability, through risky and undesirable, has occasionally opened the door to reform that entrenched system resisted. Sir, consider the period during time of Ramsey. The intervention of Ramsey brought renewable and international attentions. It forced urgent reforms in security, policing, public finance, and governance. reforms that may not have been politically possible otherwise. Yet, let me be clear, instability is a blunt and dangerous instrument. It can just as easily bring abuse, economic hardship, weakening of the institutions, and social division. The potential benefits of instability only materialize when it is channeled wisely into inclusive reform, strengthened institutions, and accountability and national reconciliation. Mr. Speaker, the real lesson for our leaders, we must act decisively during the times of stability. We must strengthen institutions, uphold the rule of law, address corruption, restore public trust. We must lead through leadership, not through crisis. If there is any lesson for the past instability, it is this: inclusive dialogue and national unity, strong and independent institutions, transparent and accountable leadership, respect for the rule of law, and electoral integrity. Meaningful participation of youth, civil societies, churches, and communities. Sustainable change is deliberate. It is peaceful. It is institutionalized. It is not reactive. It is not chaotic. In this context, I commend the GNAT government for its reform-oriented development initiative, including flagship projects like the Bina Harbour Development Project, which address long-standing economic and social grievances through structured and lawful means. I urge all leaders, government and opposition alike, to use the period ahead for reflection. Let us commit to reform through leadership, unity and accountability, not through crisis, division or convenience. Mr. Speaker, to my constituency, allow me to briefly update on the development plans where Mifala Garem for other people below me inside the West Korai constituency. Phase 1, lot of projects below me sabi that hemi roll out, go finish now. And by go into our phase 2 and phase 3 until finish him now, I'll get project implementation phases for this year. And whilst now about to go into our phase 2 and phase 3 project implementations, me like for thanking the people below me for this patientness and understanding inside this time 2025. Me do believe that by all the last phases, lot of project implementations by finishing off early next year. So him now a little bit update for the people below me constituency below me West Korai constituency. And with this, me like to say normally that May 2026 be a year of stability, with reform, unity, with accountability and development, with justice. With these few remarks, Mr. Speaker, me support him this whole motion and resume seat below me. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Thank you. Honourable Minister for Culture and Tourism, and Fico Gela first. Thank you, madams.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you, Thomas, for giving me this for a chance for me to talk about this for a motion, Sine-Die. First, me like for tell them sincere appreciation Lo you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for strong leadership where you shown lo convene and finish him good this for the 12th Parliament third meeting. And for guiding this for the Honourable House, lo keta important debate and pass him 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Leadership lo you have helped for making waka block government go ahead with him order, dignity and purpose. Mr. Speaker, sir, me like to for talent big for thank you lo Prime Minister Blayumi, Honourable Jeremiah Manele, for strong leadership lo him lo this for year. And for acknowledging to support where I come from with our cabinet colleagues below me. Me like extend him appreciation below me, lo leader below opposition, leader below independent group, and lo every honourable members lo this for the house for the contributions, debates, and constructive engagement lo this for the parliamentary year. Mr. Speaker, sir, me like for expressing heartfelt gratitude below me lo or the staff below Ministry below Culture and Tourism, or the dedication, professionalism, and hard work away do him every day, him helping ministry for delivering of the program, the tourism, culture, archives, museum, and art gallery lo this for the year. Without commitment, lota progress where me fala make him, but I'm not so possible. So me say big thank you, lota, hardworking staff below me. Me like to for acknowledge him with him deep appreciation, go lot of tourism, industry operators, and private sectors, where the staff forming backbone below tourism industry below me. No matter how to operate low challenging environment, with him high cost low operation, limited infrastructure, and visitor numbers where go up and down, or to showing big fella perseverance, resilience, and commitment for keeping the business go ahead and for keeping tourism sector Blayumi alive. Investment, innovation, and belief where Otagarem potential the Solomon Islands tourism have something where Mifala must commend. Plande Lota have been facing economic shock, but Ota still continue for stand strong for providing waka for people Blayumi, for look out them of the important tourism product, and for promoting country Blayumi go out to other countries. Mr. Speaker, sir, suppose no for brave enough law from Oketa tourism sector Blayumi by no stop low level where him stop learn today. Me tell big fella thank you, Loketa partnership Loketa for dedication where auto showing lo growing business Blayumi. Mr. Speaker, sir, we must highlight into how political instability has affected implementation block at the GNAT program law 2025. Political instability has started come up the big fella factor were affecting good fella implementation blow the program blow this fella year. Time instability come up whether him leadership change, administrative disruption, or political alignment where keep changing, him slowing down program rollout, him delaying procurement, him affecting service delivery, and him spoiling public confidence look at a government initiative. For National Development Agenda Yumi for Move Go ahead properly, Yumi must protect him stability, consistency, and predictability law governance. In that way, ministries, provincial government, and other constituency by implementing over the program where this fella Honourable House have approving. Mr. Speaker, sir, me like for raising one fella big fella national concern where threatening well-being blow people Blayumi. Integrity blow at the institution Blayumi and future blow country Blayumi. The rise blow methamphetamine and okata narafala hard drugs lo okata community Blayumi. This fellow Honourable House serve a good finish that methamphetamine have not just one for a criminal issue, have one national security threat, one health crisis, and direct attack long moral fabric of society blayumi. Mr. Speaker, sir, suppose you may like for protecting nation blayumi, you may must start with him protecting integrity of public service blayumi. From that for a reason, me strong for supporting mandatory drug testing for every public servant, including Ogotalo leadership, frontline service, and enforcement agency. One clean public service is important for protecting public trust, making ethical decision making, strengthening accountability, showing good for example of young people blayumi. Mr. Speaker, sir, you must strengthen him to law blayumi for making Ogata drug trafficker, manufacturer, and distributor custom penalty where matching seriousness blow crime blother. Methamphetamine hem spoiling family, hem weakening community, and hem killing national productivity. You must not allow this for poison for taking root Los Solomon Islands, where you may call them Osem home. At the same time, you must promote him one positive mindset lo public service, one where stand up lo discipline, integrity, patriotism, and service to others. Strong nation have no build lo law and enforcement, but lo character and value lo people blayumi too. Mr. Speaker, sir, now me like to talk straight lo good people lo Gela constituency. For reaffirming commitment lo me for continue implementing of the constituency project where constituency development committee approve and finish. Me happy for giving brief update lo at the good people about the progress lo at the initiatives there. From Australian government and help them to follow committees with the water, sanitation, and solar. Republic of China, food bridge, lo Gumu and Ha, solar light through Ministry of Environment, cattle materials from Ministry of Agriculture, under CDF, housing materials, canteen goods, Hakama, cattle project, coconut and cocoa seedlings for the farmers, Boromole Road to Rara, supporting of the church and education under CDF component, and also thank you for Solomon Island government grant, and RSDP for 250 water tanks. Ogata showing commitment blayumi for improving livelihood, supporting community and building one better constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, national economy blayumi have facing real challenge. Yumi must act decisively with him strategic focus and aligning resource for driving production. Economic revival, hem no rocket science, hem about enabling Okata fundamental factor, land, labor, capital, technology, water, and affordable energy. So this for the spirit, Gela constituency have started discussion for one joint economic plan for unlocking potential blayumi, lo agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and tourism. Mr. Speaker, sir, provincial government blayumi must come up key partner lo this for the economic transformation. Ogata Garam registered land were fit for commercial, scale, agriculture, and narfla investments. Ogata issue where you may look in today, or some rice law. East Border Canal, hem happened because development hem stop lo customary land where no garam secure tenure. Mr. Speaker, sir, from this for a reason, Gela constituency hem proposed for starting one accelerated economic intervention program whereby using provincial land. This fella hem one one plan, one resource approach. Mi kole Ministry blo Provincial Government for aligning MPGIS multilateral funding with him this for a joint economic and infrastructure plan. Mr. Speaker, sir, inclusive commercial model or some GPOL, outgrower scheme, by come up central law, rural economic transformation. Large-scale production must stop the registered provincial land with him support the economic road corridor, while raw materials have come from the customary landowner. Gela constituency by giving priority to production of copra, cocoa, seaweed, cattle, poultry, piggery, lo Hakama provincial land. Mr. Speaker, sir, before me finish, allow me for one more time, me like to extend him sincere gratitude to me lo you for guidance, you lo this for the parliamentary session, lo Honorable Prime Minister for his leadership, lo the caucus and cabinet colleagues, leader of opposition, leader of independent group, and every honorable members for contribution and good spirit, lo cooperation, lo this for the year. Me like to for talent tagyo, lo hardworking staff, lo parliament, government ministries, or the provincial partners, tourism industry operators, private sectors, stakeholders, development partners, and most importantly, people blo nation blo yumi where continue for trusting yumi and supporting waka where yumi dream lo this for the honorable house. Mr. Speaker, sir, this for the Christmas season, let me reflect him to this for the year and renew commitment blo yumi for serving people blo yumi with humility, wisdom, and integrity. Me hope this for the festive season by giving peace, joy, and togetherness for every family, the beloved Solomon Islands, the Happy Isles. And let him yumi follow him this for the biblical principle. Do him good for others, and by me do good for you. Mr. Speaker, sir, me like especially for talent big tangyo, holo tagaw, golo good people blo gela constituency, support blo yifala, your patience, your prayers, and confidence lo development plan blo yumi, hem come up driving force behind waka blo yumi. Me remain committed for serving yufala with him integrity and for ensure that economic, cultural, and infrastructure program blo yumi continue for move go ahead for benefiting family and community blo yumi. So on behalf of me and my people from Gela, and from my family, and to your families, everyone, me wish him every honorable members and their families, and every citizen of the nation blo yumi, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2026. May God bless the yumi everyone, and God continue for guiding nation blo yumi, Golo unity, prosperity, and lasting peace. Thank you, Thomas. Mr. Speaker, sir, and Mr. supporting motion, resume my seat.
Minister, let me give the floor first to the Honourable MP for West Makira and Minister for Mines, Energy and Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing the MP for West Makira, for me contribute briefly to this motion. Also, thank you, MP for Northwest Canal, for allowing me to this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief. And I rise on behalf of my ministry, the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification, as well as the good people of West Makira constituency, to lend my support, my full support, to this motion moved by the Honourable Prime Minister, that at the adjournment of Parliament on Wednesday, 17 December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded, and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to the Honourable Prime Minister for moving this motion, marking the end of a productive parliamentary year. I must also thank you, Honourable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, for your exceptionally able and impartial overseeing of our parliamentary business through this calendar year. To the clerk Deputy Clerk, and the dedicated staff of Parliament. Your professionalism and tireless efforts behind the scenes are the foundation upon which this democracy operates. Thank you for your services. To my colleague ministers, I acknowledge your steadfast commitment to your respective portfolios and crucially your collective dedication to delivering essential services to our people across the length and breadth of Solomon Islands. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. And to our colleagues on the other side of the bench, I offer my thanks. Your commitment to scrutinizing policy, your interventions, and your wisdom have been invaluable. By helping to shed light on many issues of national interest, you have helped shape and refine government policies and directions, ensuring better outcomes for Solomon Islanders. This is the essence of a healthy democracy. Mr. Speaker, please allow me to briefly talk about several things inside the ministry below me, the Ministry of Mines. A lot has been said with regards to the ministry and the needs in terms of reform and strengthening of the institution of the ministry and the processes and procedures and the manner in which practices are done in the sector. Mr. Speaker, also the ministry has five very important divisions. But the divisions are also running five ministry because these are all very important ministries and they are somewhat different from each other. So the ongoing need for strengthening all these different divisions equally, the concerns that have been raised in terms of initiating reforms are heard loud and clear. I, as a Solomon Islander, may share them too, some of these concerns, because it is a sector or a ministry that can look after them now. Some of our very important producers or got the resources below me, where if you may not look after them good or care for them good, when they are gone forever. So I do share with you the concerns that have been raised. Mr. Speaker, of the ministry has been driven by a singular purpose, and that is to responsibly unlock our national resources, or our nation's resources, wealth, and power our sustainable future. So throughout the year, Mr. Speaker, we have been involved in several activities where some of them have been highlighted, but allow me to also mention them some for this time. On legislation and governance, Mr. Speaker, in terms of the law sector, we have undergoing a number of legislative reforms, one of which is the Minerals Bill, we have before the House, and then we do have ongoing reforms, law electricity, law energy sector, law water sector. But the Minerals Bill and its accompanying regulatory framework will be very important to enhance governance in the mining sector and by being able to address a lot of the concerns that have been raised in this Honorable House. In terms of sector strengthening, Mr. Speaker, the deepening of the mining cadastre system, where we are doing ongoing work around this whole time, and strengthening of compliance mechanisms to ensure transparency and accountability, not only in the mining sector, but also other sectors such as geology, energy and water, petroleum. It's also very important in modernizing our processes and practices to meet the current day needs of those important sectors in terms of the programs where we go ahead and the important sector. We have, as this House has been informed, successfully hosted few national and regional meetings and conferences, the National Energy Summit and the Pacific Water Ministerial Forum this year. And also, in terms of water, Mr. Speaker, we are progressing the Water Resources Bill and implementing targeted community water initiatives for improvement now, people's access to water, but also in terms of public health and hygiene. In terms of resource management, Mr. Speaker, our deepening work in geohazard monitoring, ocean governance, and driving essential petroleum sector reforms are also important for addressing a lot of the concerns that have been raised. The geohazard monitoring, Mr. Speaker, on top law ministry, there are some departments there waka 24 hours monitoring geohazard risks and low country blaming. However, up to this point, they have never been recognized as an essential sector. It is a work, an issue we currently work on this for a time for we have looking if they can be recognized as well as essential sector because they are what a work day and night here. This will department here. Also, in terms of capacity development, Mr. Speaker, we will continue to expand now technical capacity and institutional strengthening across the whole of the ministry. Ministry below Ministry of Mines. We have recruited a good number of administrative and technical staff, personnel this year, and we have looked forward that next year it will be a much better year. We will be able to fully undertake our roles and functions as a ministry across all the sectors. So I have noted some of the concerns that have been raised with regards, especially the mining sector. As I mentioned earlier, those concerns, we also share them as a Solomon Islander. However, we have to have informed actions here, guided by sound policy and sound judgment. For us to just, for example, in the case of the cancellation or suspension of water mining licenses that have been raised several times in this House, that I think the concern has come from our care for the environment and care for these non-renewable resources. That we should have a proper legislative framework before we continue on this sector. However, I want to assure this House that the whatever assistance we have from the development partners below me, DFAT, assisting me this year, also technical areas in terms of inspection and compliance. We are doing ongoing monitoring and inspection of operators or investors below me. And those who are the breach now, act below me or law below me, Mr. Speaker, we are doing appropriate actions for giving water notices, the so-called notices, even cancellation of licenses. And this is an ongoing process. For me, for just abruptly stop everything no more, it is not reasonable in our view, because by I'm affecting to revenue-based below me. Mr. Speaker, so the ministry is currently engaging in a number of transformative policies that are set to redefine all our sectors. These reforms are critical to realizing the full potential of our resources for our people. For these policies, Mr. Speaker, foresee that we will enable the government and the people of Solomon Islands to commercially participate in the mining sector, for example, and significantly increase the benefits derived from our non-renewable resources. We are working on policies, Mr. Speaker, on this regard for IMSA Alam government to commercially participate in the equity sharing arrangements. Also in the establishment of a state-owned enterprise, Mr. Speaker, which will allow the state to participate directly extraction, prospecting extraction of our natural mineral resources. The ongoing work on strengthening our mining cadre is also worth mentioning, Mr. Speaker. Some reforms here in the end will lead to the establishment of a sovereign wealth fund, where I have also been raised in this House. And this is very important, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that when our resources, the non-renewable resources, are completely extracted, we can continue benefiting from this, from the extracts or the benefits where emissions are taken from the resources here. Mr. Speaker, in terms, these reforms will also pave the way for the effective and sustainable provision of renewable energy to our rural populace over the next decade. And I would like to make mention of the Energy Roadmap 2026-2030, Mr. Speaker. It's a key guide, a document leading me into sustainable provision of energy services for people, particularly or especially those in the rural area. The solarization policy, Mr. Speaker, is also very important because by regulating how you may provide them services or energy, electricity through solar, renewable energy, for people in the communities. Solar as is an essential good at this time, but it is being treated as just any other product no more. Where meaning that we are the compliance in terms of standards and also no now. So we cannot meaningfully participate in sustainably providing solarizing Solomon Islands if there is no sound policy in place for guiding that one. The policies, Mr. Speaker, will also ensure that there is sound social and environmental safeguards that are firmly in place for extractive sectors here. Policy for him putting in place environmental bond, Mr. Speaker, him go in line with them legislative reforms for the Ministry of Environment for under the Environmental Act. By him come, which will ensure that we have environmental bond in place for safeguarding of the environment, rehabilitation, and so forth. We have, Mr. Speaker, renewed our commitment to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, EITI. So one global best practice where we have recently renewed our commitment for adhering to the standards of EITI. This will ensure transparency, accountability, law mining sector, and by him helping me for the monitoring law of what companies or the investors where what operate with me. Also, Mr. Speaker, under this, we have been engaged in meaningful engagement with the Matalanos for looking that their interests are also factored in the decision-making processes. As we all know, Mr. Speaker, the mining sector has got potential for him making country good and also at the same time can also break this country, given our social vulnerabilities. So it is a very sensitive sector, Mr. Speaker, where if we are ignorant, by him result, the social impacts were undesirable. In terms of the petroleum and biofuel refining policy, Mr. Speaker, this will allow us to diversify the sector as well as give us a clear way forward. How now by exploiting this one, given its high environmental implications, time managing properly. So this policy, by helping me for diversify as well as guiding me in extraction and utilization of petroleum and biofuel. So, Mr. Speaker, these policies will work towards improving the standard of living of people within our urban centers through the reduction of tariffs under the current Electricity Act review and the new law by Hankam. Also, the water resources bill will also come before the House, and the ongoing review of the tariffs, we are very, very high at the moment. Our objective, Mr. Speaker, is to bring the tariffs to a reasonable levels that by himself impact the purchasing power and the cost of living low people below me, and that is not factoring in the eventual commissioning of the Tina Hydro power project. Mr. Speaker, these achievements and future reforms would not be possible without the unwavering support of our international partners. So me like to give this chance, Mr. Speaker, for thank him now, what the development partners blue me. We are to partner with the ministry for further now reforms, current reforms, and ongoing policy intentions, reform intentions, whereby strengthening him now, Wakablo ministry. The Australia through the fact, the People's Republic of China, what the multilateral donor partners blue me, World Bank, ADB, and all our friends from the Pacific region, Asia, Europe, and Australasia. We extend our deepest gratitude. Thank you to our donor partners and our multilateral and bilateral partners. I would like to thank you as the Minister for choosing to work with a young nation. Thank you for believing in our potential. We do not take your support for granted. We value partnerships grounded on mutual respect and understanding and a shared commitment to peace, prosperity, and human dignity. Our long-standing foreign policy of friends to all, enemy to none, continues to guide our national posture. This philosophy reflects the deep truth that every nation, every society, and every community, even every individual, carries a unique worth, a worth deserving of respect and peaceful engagement. In an increasingly complex world, Solomon Islands remains a nation anchored in humility, guided by wisdom, and committed to constructive friendship. So, me like to give this all the time for thank you now about the civil servants. Let me acknowledge the hardworking civil servants across the entire government machinery, in particular the dedicated men and women, Law Minister of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification, including Wakaman, Solomon Water and Solomon Power. Our ministry at times have been in the headlines, often due to misguided public perception. But through it all, you, the staff of the ministry, have stood firmly. You have undertaken your duties with strong sense of citizenship, and your technical expertise, professionalism, and unwavering commitment have been the engine that enabled the ministry to progress these major reforms. Your service embodies a spirit of national duty, so I thank you. So before I finish my talk, me brief, me like to give some time for also thank him now people me, West Maghreb constituency. I take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to thank the good people of West Maghreb constituency for your ongoing trust and confidence in me to be your parliamentary representative of the last decade. Your confidence in my leadership, both nationally and within our constituency, strengthens my resolve to work tirelessly on your behalf. You remain my grounding, my responsibility, and my blessing. We like to give all the time for just passing on very important message on man, lo people blow me, by in the new year, but I'm going to come around for continue for talk blow me about him now, the expectations, and all the programs blow me. But by me no tell everything lo here, because by I'm very mindful of time. But me like to remind me no more that the implementation of the Constituency Development Fund Act 2023, with its implementation, a lot has changed. And me have been telling me finish, but me like telling me back more. The new legislation has brought about major changes in how we manage RCDF, the processes, the procedures, and the practices. Him no also before now, where you select him come, say stay low account, you like you come, you pay go no more. The processes are different. Even before, no matter in select, but you go advance. Oh, you take first time by select come in, you just pay. This time no more now, good people blow me. Law this time, him require me for mass volume process here, and me accept him, me ask him understanding believe Allah, who must accept in this whole change, and me work for them. So you me too, you must change. There has to be a paradigm shift. Me sense him now, think blow me and look blow me. Lo how RCDF by me manage him or how by him delivered in a way that by you may no confusing me myself. There has to be a paradigm shift in the way we understand and engage with RCDF, our expectations must be realistic and our plans must be strategically aligned with national development strategies. Last time, anything you like, we have in line with them, no need for you, where you look at the project, this time, the Ministry of Rural Development of Garemot sectors, whereby you must spend for long. Suppose you blow school fee and finish, you mean stop for paying school fee now. The sector exhausted now. So they have what areas where I got to put him, where you spend him selling for long. And this one, me will have been talent finished, time me come last time, what I'm CDC committee, CDC, for me for inform me for and I'm sure you are aware. Please, think him good and you think him all the way now. No forget him. And also, side of the projects we have already delivered some but by this month here, or semi month here, say what Tatabakan, but by come January now. No good night for a busy law something, then by for Christmas good. So by January, by Okata things below me, whereby I should come in this month here, by come in, we may be waiting for several things, we have no available late from come, then by me make a full charter. From Hanunu Kasem Arosiwan for Imi deliver doing continue for doing delivery below Imi. And on this note, Mr. Speaker, I just like for also inform people below me that if I sabe lo side lo service delivery lo constituency below me very expensive. For Chatamship, almost $1 million for running for constituency. So me ask for ongoing support and patience below Fala and understanding below Fala as we continue to toil together to try and move our constituency forward. Next year, we will going to explore bigger infrastructure programs, supporting what our ongoing programs we have started this time. So, as we approach now festive season, Christmas and New Year, on behalf of the staff of the ministry, the PS, the directors, of course the board of directors, Someone Power, Someone Water, the executive management below the SOEs here and the ministry, and of course on behalf of the chiefs below me, elders, church leaders, men, women, youths, and children, the constituency below me, West Market constituency, me too, me like joining all other colleagues who wish you, me, everyone, a very Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year 2026. May like extend him this wonderful season's greetings to His Excellency, the Governor General, and his family, your good self, Honorable Speaker, and your family, Chief Justice, and his family, the Honorable Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, and their families, the Leader of Opposition, the Leader of Independent Group, and their families, all colleague ministers, and our families, all constitutional post holders, and the families, all members of the diplomatic corps and the families, our development partners, church leaders, NGOs, CSOs, all the hardworking civil servants and their families, our humble bus and taxi drivers, farmers, fishermen, and women and men across the whole of Solomon Islands, including those living with disabilities, and of course all the inmates below me, other correctional facilities below me around the country. May the spirit of Christmas renew our hearts. May the new year strengthen our resolve to lead with wisdom and compassion. And may God continue to bless our nation, safeguard our communities, and guide our work as leaders entrusted with the future of Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, within those few words, we wish him everyone once again a very merry, safe, and blessed Christmas. And may God him continue for stop with him, and by him continue for blessing Solomon Islands from source to shore. With those few words, Mr. Speaker, I fully support the motion and I resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Remember, let me give the floor to the MP for West Guadalcanal. First here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me try and brief no more. Not taking up time too much. I rise today to support the motion of Sine-Die and reflect on the work of this honourable House, while at the same time speaking directly to the people of West Guadalcanal, whom I am privileged to represent. First, I want to thank God Almighty for his guidance throughout this session. I also acknowledge you, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, honorable members, the Attorney General, our parliamentary committees and staff, and the public servants who continue to serve our nation. Oketa wakahadlo ketana help me and you come this far. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all our donor partners and all stakeholders for the immense support you rendered to the people of Solomon Islands through projects, capacity building, through short or long-term advisory services, and so forth. Okay, taetu baraba help me tumas and me sabe life kasem this time. To the people of West Canal, chiefs, elders, women, youth, church leaders, farmers, fishermen, and not forgetting too, constituency office and the workers. I thank you for your trust, patience, and resilience. Your strength is the foundation of our development and true wealth of our economy. This time, I talk about policy direction and other achievements. Let me reflect on him. Mr. Speaker, during this session, government policies have focused on economic recovery and stability, infrastructure development, service delivery to communities, education, health and social protection, strengthening governance and partnerships. The key achievements across sectors, let me talk a few. Infrastructure, improvement of roads, bridges, and transport access. This one, government Hembarawa Dreams Taka work along that area, and we thank you, Minister for MID for Iwakahadlo that fala area too for Pusungo Tawakaya. Support for rural electrification and water supply. This one, I think, constituency Blomi Baraba benefit lo this one through water, solar lighting and street lights, and some fala solar one and where okata components where hem go down low constituency. Opening up communities for markets and services. This one, me happy to maslohem. Me sabi make an example. Me fala this time, current three fala towers too, ya where hembarawa enhancing market too, ya because okay people lo constituency ring noma, then okata talem got price lo bill not, then okay quick time tekem, otakam wait team na. So me happy to maslo that area too. Education. Second one, education, continued support for schools, teachers and students. Ota grants here, him still continue, me happy lo that one. Assistance through scholarships and fee support. That one too, me fala constituency, me fala give him extra too, because after this fala fund blow education and finish, me fala elebet support lo MRD. Thank you for okata some fala support where come from you fala where me fala use him too. Investment in technical and vocational training. Number 3, health, upgrading of clinics, health centers, and support for frontline health workers, improved access to basic medical services. I think this one, Mifala receiving too, drugs were before, or the drugs not available, but this time drugs him available now, so clinics or Save receiving that one. Social and community development, support to women's groups, youth initiatives, and churches. Mifala give him to some fala building materials where me happy too much for go witnessing the Tufala building lo Tufala churches lo Verahue community hem up finish kasem this time after me fala give him some fala materials, so me happy lo that one. I think okata productive sector blame me little bit to talk lo hem imigarem those who okata wakalo place okata now or small holders where okata work inside lo farms bloketa for look after cocoa coconut okata baraba work hard too for apumna country blame takem kam selen where through sale of okata crops here. And these achievements, though not perfect, demonstrate progress and commitment. Some know that government has still committed for pusum gona one and for him go kasemota rural communities blame and help him people or villages blame me. Okay, no matter how we face him stark challenges too. The challenges we continue to face, Mr. Speaker, we must also be honest about our challenges. Immigrant limited financial resources, a high cost of living, youth unemployment, weak market access for rural producers, climate change and environmental pressures, land and development issues. Okay, something I know sabe go from you, I always stop with me, but we have to listen no matter this will try and help him people for him listen him impact block at something. Yeah. So government through continue support blow him, me happy that these things him still go on. These challenges remind us that development is not just about spending money, but about planning wisely and empowering people. I mean, a little bit look low way forward, Mr. Speaker. Looking ahead, Mr. Speaker, the way forward must include strengthening the productive sector as the backbone of the economy. So that's why me looking now. We talk about agriculture every time, and if you may help him good other people blame me lo place, you may improve him through or support him, give him or to make him good or cash crop blocketa or to sell him. In that way, by him improve him now, purchasing power of village, and then people by a little bit no come looking at me too much or ask too much, but the power is down there. Or to sell lo village, then or to stop or to survey him up. Empowering women and youth as drivers of growth. To Falana every time. You must support him too, because to Falana, Staplo village always, women and youth. And youth, you must have another stuck up problems this time him arise. So youth, you must try look to him. So okay, now okay, something where him have help me for me improve lo him and then help him for country go forward. Improving coordination between government, provinces, and communities. This one to lo side lo governance, you must continue for help him strong him now kata chief system lo village, so that oketa tu ota work hard, put him ota bylaws lo ota community policing him save go in and help him too for building this wala peace inside lo village and promoting unity, peace and responsible leadership. Mr. Speaker, as we look to the way forward, I strongly recommend the government to seriously consider the establishment of an agriculture bank. Our farmers, fishermen, and foresters are hardworking and willing to produce, but one of the challenges is access to affordable finance. Commercial banks are often not suited to the realities of rural agriculture. An agriculture bank designed specifically for the productive sector would provide tailored financial support for farmers, cooperatives, and agribusiness, enabling them to move from subsistence to commercial production. This is the kind of investment that empowers our people, strengthens food security, creates employment, and builds a resilient economy. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, as the House prepares to rise on Sine-Die, let us remember that our work does not end here. Our true accountability is to the people we serve. To the people of West Guadalcanal, I reaffirm my commitment to continue working with you, listening to you, and advocating for development that truly improves lives. With this, I am proud to let you know that the GNAT government has included our Narrow Lambi Road for task ceiling in the 2026 National Infrastructure Budget. This is a great achievement for West Canal. Me vala cry for this one long time finish here, and me happy to must thank you, Prime Minister and Minister BMID. Lastly but not the least, I would like to wish the Prime Minister and his family, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and the families, Cabinet Ministers and the families, Leader of Opposition and the Independent Group and the families, all other members of Parliament and the families, the donor partners, and all the people of Solomon Islands, and Okata constituency, Blomi, Blow West Canal, everyone, a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year 2026. May God bless West Canal, may God bless our government, and may God bless Solomon Islands. I support the motion and I receive my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I give the floor to Honourable MP for Renold and Bellona and Minister for Traditional Governance, Peace and Ecclesiastical Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving opportunity to me as Minister for Traditional Governance, Peace and Ecclesiastical Affairs and MP for Renold and Bellona for contributing to this very important motion put forth by the Honourable Prime Minister, Jeremiah Manele, that at the adjournment of Parliament on Wednesday, 17th December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. Mr. Speaker, before me go ahead with a small contribution from me, I'd like to thank you, sir, and your clerk and staff of Parliament for the smooth conduct of this meeting. I also acknowledging colleagues on both sides of the House for work that we've put in on this session. We've passed some very important bills. This Special Economic Zone Bill, the Public Service Bill, and of course the Budget 2026, where you may just pass him. These bills are very important, or laying important foundation, side of law of the upcoming plans and programs for the government. This budget will pass. We thank my colleagues, particularly in government, for recognizing the importance where churches and plan, law community blame me, law country blame me, you may get a increase, law grants to churches blame me. This one aim to strengthen him work blogata and to continue to help him out fulfilling their very important mandate, which is spreading good news blame me, what blow big man, and also to keep him society cohesive, which is something you cannot underestimate. Churches blame me, when there's absence of perhaps of security personnel blame me, church is always there. I'm not one steady force inside the community blame me, and sometimes you may overlook him. But thank you that you may recognize them as churches through our constituencies blame me, by other programs through other MPs, CDC blame you and plans blame you and go towards helping our church blame me throughout the country. This budget where you may just pass him, it's a period of scarcity. Things are not going to be easier and by not get easier. But government continues to prioritize important service sectors, blame me, education, health, security, and other resource sectors and agriculture. Ministry me look after, it's a small ministry. Some of the functions below ministry, I think it's more division type function. But going forward, we are looking at refocusing the ministry. This one, and by needing some policy direction and also concurrence from cabinet. But we see a very different role going on to next year, because this ministry out establishing soon after this ethnic crisis playing. That one almost 30 years ago now. That one happened, if you say 30 years, that's one generation and past now. a new generation of people who come this time with no scars or any memory of that for the time. So it is only fitting that you may also shift him a little bit focus blow. This fellow ministry which was set up to play role of peace and reconciliation, now you may should focus low, assist him now development aspirations below me. There is already ministries focused on that area, but we should play a facilitating role. Mifala, recently this year, we signed up to the G7 Plus Charter. Now this whole G7 Plus Charter has a group of countries, this country of the post-conflict country, in South Africa, Asia, Kamlo, the Americas, and also inside the Pacific. The Pacific, you mean Papua New Guinea, you mean inside this fellow group. This fellow group is very important because it's peer-to-peer learning group that can focus on development with very, very similar context as you or to come through problems, or to come through crisis, or to come together for learn from each other. The important thing is you may chair in this fellow G7 Plus this coming year. The focal point for this fellow group is now Ministry where we look after and of course Foreign Affairs. So this is going to be one of the bigger focus for this year is engaging within this fellow G7 Plus. In fact, what come early this year, probably around July or so, the Director General of this fellow group come, Dr. Da Costa, and him engage with the Ministry of Mines, within our ministry, and they share experience blogata and some of the challenges where other membership block facing, similar to UMI. One of the things that they talked about is, this fellow system where a lot of these countries government say a traditional land owner land. So when we talk about resources curse, there is such a thing as systems curse to you. The system where you may adopt him here. If you look at these countries, a lot of them from Commonwealth here. So him same sort of system now, what I inherit him, same sort of laws that have no fit him no context block at that. You may face in the same situation here. So it's not necessarily a resource curse, it's a system that you may sit down and you may not develop it properly, and not really apply well or the traditional systems blame. You may everyone here talk about indigenous rights and chiefs and all that, but it's not fully taken into formal legal system blame. So we are looking into that one quite seriously in the coming year. And work by me for look at how now you miss have involving with the chiefs come inside or something. We've had some examples law out of Logizo, Kolobangara, KFPL, they've got their trust group there, GPOL and something similar. We need to look at something that helps have a work perhaps as a trust for the landowning units. We're looking at genealogy work survey. If I go to Fiji and we looked at the system of the Ranim, it's something that it's a good lesson. The first thing they do is genealogical mapping. Mapping the full country. Beginning and born and going inside the one genealogy. We all belong to a tribe based on genealogy. Genealogy also determine him how you spread him on the land, who now lead him tribe or family. So this whole genealogical mapping is something that we might pilot inside some of the communities inside the country, constituencies below me, and you may try and see how now there's already some work, some of the constituencies doing finish here. They do it out of their own initiative. They have no formal policy, but go ahead and do it. Or the mapping out genealogy, some will go back as 4 or 5 generations go back. But it needs to be something formal. You may need to support him, and we need to see how name is to help him with kind communities here, and then formalize him some of the good intentions block at that. Certainly, one of the things where it's very big to me is this fellow extractive industry. The curse below this one, you misalabana kozim. This fellow extractive industry is something that is quite sensitive, and it's something that we need to take some serious consideration lahem and action lahem. This fella sovereign wealth fund, you talk about him, it's a very good idea, but it has to be tied to a system where much of the wealth you may retain him. If you may run him sovereign wealth fund and then the continuation of how we extract our resources him continue. This fellow wealth fund there, it's not going to grow. Boss come invest there now, by him grow. We have to find a way that you may ensure much of the resources below you me and what's taken out of the resources him must stop with him. That is the only way you may grow economy below you me, and that is the only way that you may sustain him now. Population below you me going into the future. I agree with others here. This one has to be handled with care. Because one of you may extract him, it's gone. And then that will create bigger challenges for you me. So me just want to say that a lot has been said today. Development below you me. Development and growth are two very different things. Growth, it might look good, but on the development side, if you look at all the indicators, it might point different. We have to focus on all the development indicators below me and priorities below me, so that when you may grow, development can go all the way down to the rural communities below me. So me just like to conclude by saying that Ogata ministries where we feel fortunate and privileged for look after. We have to continue working in synergy with each other. No work in isolation. There are many things that we must work together with him, with other ministries, colleague ministers, in achieving the same goal, which is the transformative agenda where government is setting. So me just like to acknowledge our Prime Minister, Jeremiah Manele, for his steady leadership, colleague ministers for the year, the camaraderie, the work that you may be putting together, and may continue to look forward to working with all of you in the coming year. Me acknowledging all the members of Parliament inside law, this 12th Parliament. Continue to look forward to working also closely with the new fella in the coming year. So let me conclude by saying that Christmas is upon us. We will go home, celebrate Christmas, spirit of Christmas, and the message that I'm bringing, and something we should hold on to going into the new year and continue on. It's the spirit of forgiveness, peace, love, respect. These are important values that MSA carry any country forward, and MSA help build me as a country. So in closing, let me wish everyone Merry Christmas. Blow you fella, families blow you fella, Head of State blow me, Governor General, heads blow the three arms blow me, you sir Speaker, our Prime Minister and Chief Justice, those in the opposite, Leader of the Opposition, Leader of Law Independent, colleague MPs, this side of the House with our colleague ministers, backbenchers. Wish you all a pleasant Christmas. God bless you all, and thank you.
We'll give the floor to the Honourable MP for North Malaita first. I think he was coming here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute a little bit to this motion of Sine-Die on behalf of the Ministry of Rural Development and my good people of North Malaita constituency. So let me join other speakers and colleague members to congratulate you and your hardworking staff of the National Parliament on a job well done overseeing the business of this Honourable House during the course of this sitting. On the same note, Mr. Speaker, I wish to also thank the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination, and the Ministry of Public Service, and the ministers, permanent secretaries, and the officers who tirelessly work in bringing the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025 before the House up to its passing last week. I could say you have all done or demonstrated strong commitment to ensuring the important business of the government are completed within a tight schedule and on time. Mr. Speaker, as the Minister responsible for the Ministry of Rural Development, I wish to reaffirm my personal commitment to the objectives of my ministry and the GNAT government in ensuring that the important policies under my portfolio are undertaken and fulfilled. Most importantly, the impact of our work on the lives and livelihoods of our people in the communities is very important. My ministry's vision is built on the premise of empowering all Somalilanders for self-sufficiency, improving livelihoods, and sustainable development. My ministry's commitment to this vision continues to be manifested in our work, including the many good projects implemented in our 50 constituencies. Mr. Speaker, our budgetary provisions for this year 2021 is now fully committed, and remaining payments are now being made by the Minister of Finance and Treasury to all 50 constituencies. This is a huge policy commitment by the government to its citizens. Mr. Speaker, the national government support for the rural development sector will continue to be made at the present budget baseline, and our commitment to ensuring its execution in 2026 will continue to be my ministry's key focus. As alluded earlier, the impact of the budget on the lives of the people is what matters the most, given the majority of our people live and build their livelihoods in rural areas. It is only fitting that the focus of the government is turned towards the rural sectors, which often includes the marginalized and the isolated population of this country. In the Somaliland's context, this marginalized population are often those who hold the primary rights over the factors of production and economic development, such as land and other resources. Therefore, it is vital that rural-focused investment in economic infrastructure such as roads, wharves, agro-businesses, including facilitation of markets, both local and international ones, are crucial aspects of the GNAT's transformative agenda and for economic development. A government budget is a tool to achieve such policy intentions. I do believe that the budget for 2026 has this primary intention and is oriented towards resourcing the critical elements, including the resource owners, to achieving it. Mr. Speaker, the intentions of any transformative investment policy should be clearly to bring progressive economic and social development to change for the country. However, any progressive economic development cannot take place in vacuum. There are conditions which must be satisfied or present to be able to make the progress amongst our communities and people are a must. Let me once again remind this House that our well-intended policies cannot transpire into reality if there is absence of unity, cooperation, and responsibility by the government and its people. Mr. Speaker, the government has a lot of responsibilities in making its 2026 budget and its policy work for our people. I'm sure the GNAT government is committed to making this a success for the citizens of this country. Mr. Speaker, the gap between the rural and urban development sectors has not improved much in the last 45 years. Thus, Mr. Speaker, rural development in particular remains a challenge for a small developing country such as Somaliland. The government has the responsibility to ensure it takes the lead to facilitate good investment environment in the rural areas, maintaining political stability and create good economic policies which attracts and gives incentives for both domestic and foreign investments. It is only fitting that the government allocates its resources to address the many development disparities faced in this sector. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Jeanette government for its ongoing support for this sector in ensuring our rural population is connected to and participate in the development process of our country throughout the constituency's development program. Mr. Speaker, the constituency development program is one of the many delivery models for rural development. Despite being heavily criticized, this model gives the opportunity for development undertakings to be spread across a huge geographical fragmented country. This offers the opportunity for an equal and inclusive participatory framework for rural development to take place. It offers the opportunity for each region of the Somalilands to be included in this process. It is the intention of this government to see that our people do participate meaningfully in all sectors of development. Mr. Speaker, in saying that, let me briefly share with this House, as part of our policy contribution to the economic development and increasing rural participation, my ministry will initiate and increase its focus on rural investment and growth through the constituency development program. In 2026, under the Ministry of Rural Development Strategic Goal number 4, integrate development process, facilitating sector-wide approach and promoting partnership for rural growth, my ministry will focus its CDF investment on two critical growth sectors, namely the productive and resource sector. Policy studies have identified key sectors of growth potential, and these include tourism, agriculture, fisheries, forestry, and including mining. Shifting towards a more diversified and resilient economy requires strengthening the productive capacities for the above-named sectors. These include developing entrepreneurial skills, reform in institution and the arrangement, including legal reforms that enable an economy to generate goods and services competitively. Mr. Speaker, as part of my ministry initiative for greater participation in this process, and as has been announced in my early budget speech, Ministry of Rural Development will foster strategic departmental partnerships in these identified sectors to leverage rural participation in development within the primary intention to expand rural growth in these sectors. Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me reiterate this once again, that this relationship between the government and its people is a two-way responsibility. This is an area that all of us in this House, including our good people in the constituencies throughout Somalilands, need to know. Whilst the government makes efforts to provide resources to its citizens, our communities and citizens, including ourselves, must also be responsible for the success of the government's development intentions for our people. We must all together consider this and put into actions our responsibilities seriously. Mr. Speaker, many of our policy intentions do require good legislative frameworks which provide clear governance and management guidelines. Legislative reforms and our ministry, in particular with the Constituency Development Fund, is an ongoing process and one which will continue to feature prominently in year 2026 work plans. So the intention of our legislative reform is clear, and that is to maximize the returns from public resources and investment for our people and communities. Our constituency level activities say I am pleased to inform this House that this year 2025, and since the commencement of the CDF Act 2023, all the 50 constituencies have fully functional offices, with most having at least 3 officers undertaking their roles in supporting their constituency deliver their work plans for this financial year. As with any new system, there are still areas which my ministry may still need to work together with the constituency to improve on. Say our capacity development activity for the constituencies will continue to be a key activity for 2026. Mr. Speaker, one of the other significant governance structures within the legislative framework of CDF Act is the Constituency Development Committee. So this is a critical governance structure for constituency level development planning, and it is now given guidelines and its roles and responsibility under the new legislation. Mr. Speaker, whilst it is in its early stage in terms of its setup and functions, CDCs will continue to play a critical role in the planning, implementation and monitoring of the Constituency Development Programme in all constituencies and communities throughout the Solomon Islands. My ministry has noted a significant improvement in the work of many CDCs in their support for planning and delivery projects at the constituency level. Mr. Speaker, on that note, I must emphasize here that the success of the Constituency Development Programme and utilizing the CDF lies in part on the work and oversight of the CDC. Given these critical roles and responsibility of the CDC, it is important that those appointed to each of the constituency development committees do take their full functions seriously and execute their mandates with their constituents in a more inclusive and non-discriminative manner. Mr. Speaker, in terms of project monitoring program, the Ministry of Rural Development in its financial year managed to complete 25 constituencies. My ministry is compiling reports on this activity and will be liaising with the constituency concerned to provide feedback on the implementation report. This is a very important process in our program and one of which can be fully utilized to improve our implementation modality for rural development. The rest of the remaining constituencies will be visited in early year 2026. Mr. Speaker, with the commencement of the CDF Act 2018, my ministry continues to work with the communities through civic education programs and to support our constituencies and people to familiarize with the provisions of the Act and how it is applied and operationalized in its current form. It is my belief, Mr. Speaker, that it is vital for our constituencies to know the details of the reforms brought about by the new CDF Act. When people are well informed of the details of the legislations and other regulations and management requirements, I believe that our people will also make rational decisions because they have the knowledge and are aware of what is required of them as far as the Constituency Development Programme is concerned. Mr. Speaker, my ministry has initiated successful awareness programs in several constituencies this year, and this will be continued as one of our key activities as well in year 2026. On that note, I call on all constituencies to support and work with my ministry to implement these activities in year 2026. Mr. Speaker, on that brief on our ministry's work 2025 and our plans for 2026, let me now take this opportunity to thank my good people of North Malta constituency for your support and cooperation since my coming to this parliament as your member. Without the support of many communities and people of North Malta constituency, the success we achieved in this short period of time will not be possible. I do thank you, my good constituents. I wish my good people of North Malta constituency a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2026. To the Honourable Speaker, thank you for a job well done for this year. To the Governor General, the Chief Justice and the members of the Judiciary, the Honourable Prime Minister and my Honourable colleague MPs, the Leader of the Opposition Group, the Leader of the Independent Group, all the public servants and the ministries, including my Ministry of Rural Development and my staff, and the people of the 50 constituencies. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2026. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. We give the floor to Honourable Minister for Forest Research. Before you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to join other colleague MPs for supporting the motion, the motion of Sine-Die, were moved by the Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, let me first of all acknowledge him our Supreme Court for this wonderful and successful year 2025, for its protection, guidance, and love, especially for, despite our many challenges the government may go through, but God is still on the throne, Mr. Speaker. And so on that note, we thank our Heavenly Father for looking after us, this country, and also protecting us, the leaders, to ensure and to make sure that we perform our job as legislators, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, let me touch a little bit on one or two issues, and then I will come to my ministry, and then, of course, to my constituency, and then conclude my short presentation, Mr. Speaker. Say on the budget that we have just passed, let me thank the Honourable Minister of Finance and Treasury for the budget, and also the Minister of Planning for Ifalakamawetim, what I see as a very important budget by me bringing forward growth next year, especially the productive sectors. And the productive sectors, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have allocated a huge amount of money for bringing back economy, one of which is, I'd like to thank him, the minister responsible for the allocation for Bina Harbour project, as MP from Maleta, really appreciate him. That full allocation, a big allocation indeed, and let me challenge those who are in charge of those funds to use the funds properly for the purpose and the intended purpose which I'm allocated for. So thank you, Minister, for that support to Bina Harbour. Also under the Ministry of Fisheries, let me thank the Minister too for the allocation for seaweed. Mifala Mifala situated in a location where seaweed is a number one product for Mifala. So thank you, Minister, for the full allocation. I've just dished out 60 projects for the constituency on seaweed materials, and I hope once the budget comes into effect next year, we will be allocated some funds for building of seaweed constituency. On agriculture, yes, I believe there's good budget for that too, and also there's support from our donor partners. Let me encourage the Minister, Mr. Speaker, sir, if we are to encourage our local farmers to grow piggery or poultry, what I suggest is to control the importation of the chicken and not PP come the country, because we can't compete with a price of $70 for 2 kilos in the shops here. Whilst the farmers will me, I'd sell them chicken wings, chicken there for $100. So the minister to control the importation of what the chicken imports, so that they allow them now the local farmers for the grow, and they have the market available. Not only that, but for piggery too, Mr. Speaker. On that note as well, Mr. Speaker. On the another sector, which is mines, we are waiting for the new bill to come in, but I hope, Mr. Speaker, the government will try to make sure and to ensure that we receive maximum benefits for our resources. The current law, Mr. Speaker, Amy Barafa denying now the rights of our people to benefit from the resources. I think an allocation of a very, very small percentage, 3% or something go down now. So how can we expect, Mr. Speaker, to improve our country whilst there's depletion of our resources and other money taken out by our investors? So I believe, sir, the minister responsible will take care of that to ensure that there is maximum benefit on our resources, especially in the mines sector, Mr. Speaker. With my ministry, Mr. Speaker, sir, forestry, of course, we are engaging in legislative reforms. As I've said in my budget speech, there are certain regulations that are coming, regulation to amend the 8% downstream, regulation on forest plantations, regulations on tenement areas, and of course, regulations on expired licenses. We are engaging into that. As soon as that is completed, we'll have it gazetted, and the regulations should come into force, Mr. Speaker. So let me thank the Ministry of Education too for their continuous support, especially to the Baigwasfula School, which I built some years ago. Thank you, Ministry, for continuous support, the fundings, and also the teachers were allocated. The school will now reach Form 6, 4, 5, 6 next year. So thank you, Ministry, for continuous support, Blayu. And also let me thank the education provider too for managing the school and also for controlling the school up until this year as school and close finish. And the management and the board of directors, I, on behalf of the people and other students of Baigwasfula School, me like to thank you for indeed. Finally, Mr. Speaker, let me thank Gina too for the inclusion of a clinic within my constituency, Manabu Clinic. We have allocated some funds to start off the clinic next year. It's important, Mr. Speaker, because that will help our people in the rural areas back in my constituency. Not only that, we are expecting the road construction to continue, and of course, I will go down to the on Christmas time and talk to my people, do land consultation on the police post at Gonsu, on the clinic, and also on the road. So those are activities that are coming up for the Christmas festive season, holidays at home. Otherwise, let me, on behalf of my people, the people of Baigwasfula, me like for wishing me everyone God's blessing as we ready for go out to our respective constituencies. May I, on behalf of my family, me like for wishing for a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, fella, and prosperous New Year, and me like for wishing you too, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for managing this house up until the end of this 2025, Mr. Speaker, sir. Also, let me extend my greetings to the Governor General and his family, the Prime Minister, of course, his family, the members of the Judiciary, Chief Justice, and all justices of the High Court, and their families, all public servants, especially now those who got to work out within my ministry, Ministry of Forestry and Research, my peers, every directors, and all managers within the departments. Me like to say Merry Christmas to everyone. And please enjoy your Christmas and come back safely 2026 next year. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I wish you my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The floor to the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also briefly contribute to this motion of Sine-Die moved by the Prime Minister. My contribution will be brief as most of the things have been said and I don't want to repeat myself. But thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'll be briefly speaking about my ministry, as most of the speakers have highlighted the airport area as well as the tower. So I'll do that, and also the constituency. But first of all, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to reflect a little bit with the achievement that the government and also the country have gone throughout this year. Mr. Speaker, most have been said, and I don't want to repeat myself on those achievements, but I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge all the public servants in their effort to enable the policy direction of the government to be implemented. Most of them have sleepless nights to make sure things are going according to what the government has stated. And I want to say thank you to all the public servants, all the permanent secretaries, the deputy secretaries, the directors, commissioners, and every officers within the public service. Not only that, the police, teachers, and the health sector. Also, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the private sectors who drives the growth of this nation. Those who are behind the scene, Mr. Speaker. Every time recently I normally drive west side of Honira, and I can see people on the road working. Behind the scene, I want to say thank you to them. Despite of the rainy season, they'll be standing there trying to achieve what the government wants. And I say thank you on behalf of the government. To my ministry, Mr. Speaker, as I have stated in the budget, we have 4 provincial airports that are already on tender, 3 actually, 1 ready for tender. I'd like to ask the landowners to please work with the ministry and the contractors to enable the construction of those airstrips to be completed within schedule. There are also others that we have earmarked for feasibility study. The ministry will continue to do that. I don't want to mention those, but I did mention that in my budget speech. I want the landowners to please work with the ministry to enable the construction of the airports. On the tower, communication towers, Mr. Speaker, there are others, there are 57 towers connected, and there are communities that appreciate the connectivity that we have. I would like to appeal to all the landowners and stakeholders to please allow the towers to be built and connect so that all the rural areas can have access to connectivity. Finally, with the constituency, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my constituency of South East Vela for their steadfast support, their patience, and trust given to me to lead the constituency. I was listening to the speaker this morning by the South Malaita. He said he used his RCDF to build the roads. Amazing, Mr. Speaker. I'm really thankful for his belief to use his RCDF to do that. But then recently, this afternoon, the Minister of Mines was talking about the review that we did with the RCDF. I kind of reflect to myself and I said, if RCDF is not managed properly, it will be like the forestry industry. Let's not put money, RCDF, to consumables, but let's put to some tangible infrastructures, income-generating activities. So in case any government comes in and then say, put a stop to RCDF, we can see something is there. I'd like to encourage all the members of this chamber to please put RCDF to the right place for the benefit of this nation. With these few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to just conclude by passing my sincere gratitude and the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the Governor General and his family. Mr. Speaker, my family and members, clerk and the Wakamanlo here, Prime Minister and family, Leader of Opposition family, Leader of Independent family, and all the cabinet ministers and the members of this 12th Parliament, a blessed Christmas and a Happy New Year 2026. To the public service, donor partners, not forgetting them, private sectors, and all the rural peoples in Solomon Islands, I wish you all a festive season. Enjoy, and come back fresh 2026. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. Honourable members, I will now ask the Honourable Prime Minister to wind up debate on the motion of Sine-Die. Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, before I proceed to wind up the debate on the motion of Sine-Die, let me reflect briefly on the Bondi shooting in Sydney, Australia. Mr. Speaker, I am deeply saddened and disturbed by the tragic shooting at Bondi, Sydney, Australia. On behalf of the government and people of Solomon Islands, I strongly condemn this senseless act of terror and violence. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families during this time of profound grief. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Australia, and we stand in solidarity with them as they mourn this tragic loss. Solomon Islands stands with Australia in rejecting violence in all its forms and in upholding peace, safety, and the sanctity of human life. I have already written to the Prime Minister of Australia expressing our condolences and sympathies. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we conclude this meeting of Parliament, I do so with a deep sense of responsibility and reflection on the work undertaken by this Honourable House and the Government for National Unity and Transformation, and with optimism for the path that lies ahead for our nation. The debates, legislation, and deliberations of this Parliament reaffirm our shared commitment to serve the people of Solomon Islands and to advance our national development agenda. I thank all who have spoken on the motion. I think we have 37 speakers from both sides of the House who took the opportunity to contribute to this motion of Sine-Die. I thank those on the other side of the House who shared their views on issues that are critical for growth and development, their suggestions in terms of policy gaps and recommendations. But I also thank my Deputy Prime Minister and Ministers of the Crown on this side of the House who took the floor to outline their respective ministries' achievements in 2025 and their work programs and priorities for 2026, as well as government backbenchers who contributed to the debate. Mr. Speaker, by and large, the debate on this motion has been very constructive. There have been issues ranging from federalism, saffron swaps, constituency boundary commission reviews, reforms in the mineral sector, school fees, health and medical services, telecommunications, rural development, a range of issues that have been raised during the course of the debate. I will not be able to respond to each of those comments and observations. And as you have heard, Mr. Speaker, my ministers have also responded to some of the concerns, some of the observations that have been raised, especially by the other side of the House. But, Mr. Speaker, transformation remains the central objective of this government. It defines the legacy we seek to live for future generations. Our transformation agenda is guided by the 4 policy pillars of the Government for National Unity and Transformation, which provide a clear and coherent framework for national development. I guess one may wish to summarize and look at the debates that we have had in the last 3 days through these 4 pillars. The first pillar, unity and stability, remains the foundation of all progress. Peace, social cohesion, and political stability are essential conditions for development. On this note, I thank the opposition and independent leaders for their interventions on the issue of political stability, and others as well who spoke on this subject. I am encouraged that they recognize the need for political stability in the government. I do take note of the concerns raised by the leader of opposition regarding state capture by vested business interests who use politicians to do their bidding. Legislative reforms will be brought to Parliament, but this is the medium to long-term solution. So, as I've said in my opening statement, it is time that we deal with this issue head-on. We cannot allow individual interests to take precedence over national interests. False narratives that try to advance this agenda will be exposed. This country belongs to all of us, and not only to a few, to a powerful few. Let us work together to save our people and country. As the parliamentary wing leader for our party, and I join our party president, the Minister of Police and National Security, who spoke earlier, that we will call a meeting of our party MPs to discuss these issues. I encourage GNET's other coalition partners to do the same. We must come back to Parliament in 2026 with renewed vigor and sense of purpose. This government continues to prioritize reconciliation, law and order, and inclusive governance to ensure that our diversity remains a source of strength rather than division. I do acknowledge the speakers who have spoken on these over the past few days. I want to assure the Honourable Member for North New Georgia that I will bring a paper to Cabinet to have a national dress and explore the development of a national identity card as we approach our 50th independence anniversary in 2028. The second pillar, economic transformation, focuses on building a resilient, diversified, and inclusive economy. And some of the debates that we had during the past 3 days focus on this. We are strengthening the productive sectors, supporting the private sector, promoting value addition, and expanding opportunities so that economic growth translates into improved livelihoods for all Solomon Islanders, particularly those in rural and remote communities. And we have heard earlier in terms of the important role that the Ministry of Rural Development continues to play for our rural population. I wish to acknowledge the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock for their efforts to increase production of cocoa and copra. On the same note, the drive by the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources to elevate seaweed production is a great achievement. The Bina Harbour Cannery Project, as we have heard from the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, as well as the Chairman of the Bina Harbour Cabinet Subcommittee, remains a priority national project. Hence, the huge allocation that we have in the 2026 budget for this important national project. Our tourism sector is also undergoing growth, especially in building new rooms. We will see the opening of a new tourism destination in Central Province in the first quarter of next year. Actually, the opening should have happened this week. Because of Parliament, we have postponed it. Progress is also being made to reopen Anuha, and investors are encouraged to invest in the tourism sector in partnership with our landowners. Say the third pillar, infrastructure development, recognizes the connectivity. That connectivity is a catalyst for growth. And we had a good debate on this in terms of infrastructure development, the importance of roads, telecommunications, wharves, and bridges, as well as transportation. Strategic investments in transport, energy, digital connectivity, and social infrastructure are enabling great access to markets, services, and opportunities, while also supporting national integration. Our transport infrastructure are the arteries of trade, economic transformation, and service delivery. On that note, I appeal to our people to respect these infrastructures. Our people must also respect the people who are building these infrastructures as well. I condemn in the strongest terms that attack on one of the workers in Malaita. These infrastructures are built for your benefit. Solomon Islands government is taking out concessional loans for these infrastructures. So please show some respect and gratitude. Say the fourth pillar, human capital development, places our people at the center of transformation. Investments in education, health, skills development, and public sector reforms are long-term investments in national productivity, resilience, and prosperity. Investing in our people must be strategic. The Minister of Health and Medical Services, as well as the Minister of Education and Human Resources Development, have articulated the priorities in these two sectors in their contributions to the debate. I want to take this opportunity to thank our development partners who have provided education opportunities for our people. The Minister of Education, as well as the Minister of Police, who spoke this morning, have also made some observations and clarifications in terms of the issue of free fee education. This is an important issue, but one that needs careful consideration in terms of affordability, economic sustainability. Probably at a later stage, when our economy is able to afford it, we can revisit this important matter. Mr. Speaker, together these four pillars reflect our collective ambition to transform Solomon Islands in a way that is inclusive, sustainable, and nationally owned. Mr. Speaker, I do note the issue of housing in Honiara raised by the Leader of Opposition. The increasing population in Honiara is definitely putting a lot of stress on the land and services in Honiara. Not only that, but the census in 2019 also showed that the Aubata and Tandai wards in Guadalcanal have seen large increases in their population. This is an indication that people in Honiara are moving into Guadalcanal. The Ministry of Lands and Housing will need to open new subdivisions and take a deliberate strategy at the national level to address urbanization with the support of national and provincial stakeholders. Say, on the other hand, I noted that the price of cement has gone down, which is good for our people. Unlike before, the price of cement is more affordable now, making it easier to build homes, not only in Honiara, but in the provinces as well. This is why competition in business is good for our people. This government will continue to promote policies that encourages competition and restrict monopoly, because this serves that national interest to make building materials more affordable for our people. I also noted the concerns raised by the Leader of Opposition in terms of the need for more resources towards programs on gender-based violence, especially violence against women and girls. So is the need for us to address the issues facing our youth, especially drug abuse, as stressed by the Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee and the MP for Central Honiara. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I wish to inform the House that Cabinet has endorsed the amendments to the Dangerous Drugs Act, imposing severe penalties. The amendment will be tabled in the next meeting of Parliament. The Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee has also proposed the need to utilize technology and innovation to spur growth and productivity. I do agree with him. The government will look into reconfiguring and streamlining some of the government ministries to accommodate this proposal. And I think earlier today we have heard from the Honourable Minister for Traditional Governance, Peace and Reconciliation. I think there is also a need to relook at the functions of that ministry that was created some 30 years ago and align it to current policies and priorities of the government. So we will also look at that. Mr. Speaker, the debate has also heard, during the debate we have also heard observations, comments on the federal system of government and the cost-benefit analysis work that is currently ongoing. On the Honourable Minister for Provincial Government and Institutional Strengthening earlier, when he took the floor, did make some observations on this. But let me add, Mr. Speaker. The government, Mr. Speaker, remains committed to progressing discussions on the proposed federal system of government in a careful, responsible, and evidence-based manner, recognizing both the historical aspirations of our people and the constitutional responsibility we carry as national leaders. We recognize that this is a significant constitutional and governance reform with long-term implications for national unity, fiscal sustainability, service delivery, and political stability. Accordingly, the government is undertaking detailed cost-benefit analysis work, as we have heard, to better understand the financial, administrative, and developmental implications of a federal system. This work will inform future consultations with provinces, stakeholders, and the wider public, ensuring that any decision taken is grounded in facts, affordability, and the best interests of our nation. Mr. Speaker, the observance of second appointed days across our provinces continues to play an important role in strengthening national unity and political stability. These occasions provide opportunities to reflect on our constitutional journey, celebrate provincial identity, and reaffirm our shared commitment to one sovereign Solomon Islands. I have had the honor and pleasure to attend a number of second appointed day celebrations since I came into office, following invitations from the respective premiers. I don't think putting a stop to second appointed day celebrations, as suggested by my colleague, the MP for North New Georgia, is a good idea. Mr. Speaker, second appointed days reinforce the partnership between national and provincial governments and remind us that unity, respect, and cooperation are essential for effective decentralization and balanced development. While most provinces are talking about revenue sharing, I want to urge these provinces to also look into revenue generation. Our provinces can generate revenue by taking part in economic activities. I encourage them to engage in these activities and become active partners with landowners and investors. In this connection, the Ministry of Provincial Government and institutional strengthening will look into establishing a targeted program to support provincial government engagements in investments. At this juncture, Mr. Speaker, I wish to acknowledge all our premiers and the Lord Mayor of Honiara City for their support and close collaboration with the GNAT government. Mr. Speaker, debates have also touched on our graduation in December 2027 and the transition strategy, that is from the list of LDCs. Solomon Islands will graduate from least dual country status in December 2027 following rescheduled timeline approved by the United Nations. This reflects national confidence, discipline in reform, and a collective belief that our country can stand stronger on the global stage. This milestone reflects progress made in socio-economic development, institutional capacity, and resilience. However, graduation also brings new challenges, including the gradual loss of certain concessional financing, trade preferences, and international support measures. The government is therefore prioritizing the implementation of a smooth transition strategy covering both pre- and post-graduation phases to safeguard development gains and ensure continuity of progress. This transition strategy emphasizes economic diversification, private sector development, institutional strengthening of our trade readiness, and establish trade agreements in close coordination with our development partners. We will work to ensure our graduation from LDC status is resilient, sustainable, and irreversible. Mr. Speaker, in 2028, Solomon Islands will celebrate its 50th anniversary of independence, a golden jubilee that marks 5 decades of sovereignty, resilience, and nationhood. So we see LDC graduation as an integral part of our 50th independence celebrations, symbolizing our national journey from vulnerability to greater confidence, resilience, and self-determination. It is a milestone that bridges our development journey with our independence legacy. Preparations for this milestone anniversary are underway and will reflect themes of unity, achievement, and aspiration for the next 50 years of our national journey. I urge everyone to start preparing for this celebration. We must take ownership of this celebration. Communities, churches, provinces, and our people must start preparing. The government too is preparing for this, but we must not rely on the government to fund every celebration. It is our duty and obligations as citizens and people of our beloved nation to celebrate our 50th independence anniversary. I know these 50 years, or the last 50 years, come 2028, has not been easy. It has been very difficult. I pray and hope that by working together, we'll do our best to make the next 50 years much better for our people and country. The Speaker, Solomon Islands, is honored to serve as chair of the Pacific Islands Forum. This role underscores our commitment to regional solidarity and Pacific-led solutions to shared challenges, including climate change, regional security, and sustainable development. As chair, we will continue to advance Pacific priorities guided by the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, ensuring that the voices of Pacific peoples remain strong, principled, and united on the global stage. The review of the regional architecture remains a task Solomon Islands, as chair of the Pacific Islands Forum, will continue to lead, and working closely with Troika, that is the past, present, and incoming chair, going into Palau next year. Solomon Islands has played several leadership roles this year at the international level. will take on more leadership roles going into 2026. These include Chair of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Council of Ministers, that is the OACP, Chair of PESA Plus, Chair of Pacific Labour Mobility Annual Meeting, and Chair of the G7 Plus. Of course, we are also members of UNDP Board, UNOPS, and UNFPA for the period 2025 to 2027. Mr. Speaker, let me briefly reflect on the comments made by the Chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee and my brother and colleague, the MP for East Harare, who observed or made some comments or reflections to the effect that Solomon Islands establishes diplomatic relations to legitimize its UN membership, and that we should put a pause on establishing diplomatic relations. Says Solomon Islands to date has diplomatic relations with 140 countries. Not because we want to legitimize our UN membership. We are already a legitimate member of the UN based on the criterions of statehood and the international community's recognition of that. Say, establishing diplomatic relations is one of the friendliest and peaceful things to do. As a peace-loving country, we should not place a pause to make friends with everyone, but double our efforts. Each and every country are duty-bound under the UN Charter to develop friendly relations, establish international cooperation, and strengthen international peace. Living up to our Charter obligations allows Solomon Islands to be responsible in freeing our people from want, from fear, and to live in dignity. We are working with the international community on global solutions, tackling climate change, transnational crime, pollution, and preserving international peace. On the question of One China, Mr. Speaker, Solomon Islands joined 180 of 193 UN members that recognize Taiwan as an inalienable part of China. The chair of the Foreign Relations Committee and the MP for East Harare also made some observations and analysis as to the difference between the One China principle and the One China policy. Indeed, sir, there is a difference between the two. These are two similar but yet different ideas about one country. The One China policy, the One China principle is a core interest of China, and that is Taiwan, as I've said, is an inalienable part of China. The One China policy is a flexible diplomatic approach by certain countries based on their national interests, including strategic, military, and economic interests. The last government and this government has decided to adopt the One China principle based on our development interest. And for the last 6 years, since we formalized diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, a lot has happened in this country, and we do appreciate and thank PRC for its ongoing commitment and support. Mr. Speaker, on the matter of the ocean, Solomon Islands is a large ocean state. As custodian of the ocean, we hosted 2 ocean-related events in country, one global and the other of the second regional. The SDG 14.4 summit in February that took a global stocktake of the world's tuna, and the second, a Pacific Ocean Conference in September. The government have also ratified the BBNJ and actively participated in the third UN Ocean Conference in June in France and launched the Melanesian Ocean Reserve. We will be appearing before the UN Commission on the limits of the continental shelf in February 2026 on our second continental shelf claim with Fiji, the Melanesian border plateau. Both the Yongtong Java Plateau with PNG and FSM and the Melanesian border plateau claims are extensions of our sovereignty. On the question of maritime partnership, we need broad-based partnership and work with all countries who are signatories of UNCLOS. The ocean remains our identity, our present and our future. Strengthening our national capacity and capability is our core interest as we work with everyone to map our coastal waters, protect our resources in alignment with the law of the sea and our right as indigenous people of the ocean. Speaker, let me at this juncture, on behalf of the government and people of Solomon Islands, express our sincere gratitude to our bilateral and multilateral development partners. Their continued support and partnership have been instrumental in advancing our development priorities across many sectors, including infrastructure, health, education, finance, climate resilience, and governance. As we prepare for LDC graduation, the 50th independence anniversary and beyond, these partnerships remain vital to ensuring a smooth transition and sustained development. Let me also sincerely acknowledge all our churches for their prayers towards us leaders, the government, and all members of parliament. Our churches will continue to play a critical role in providing the moral compass for our country and our people. Finally, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, as we adjourn Sine-Die and approach the festive season, let us stand united and face the challenges of 2026 together, knowing that God is with us. Thus, I extend my warm Christmas and New Year greetings to the Governor-General, His Excellency the Governor-General and his family, your good self, Mr. Speaker, your family, as well as to the clerk, the staff of Parliament, the Chief Justice and his family, the Deputy Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers and their families, the Leader of the Official Opposition and his family, the Leader of the Independent Group and his family, all members of Parliament and their families, all constitutional post holders, permanent secretaries and their families, provincial premiers and members of provincial assemblies, chiefs, village elders, and all people in our provinces, government ministries, departments, and public offices, and this includes our public servants, churches and faith-based organizations, the Royal Solomon Islands Police Force, the Judiciary, Legal Services, and the Legal Fraternity, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our development partners and friends, the Solomon Islands Chamber of Commerce and its members, our farmers and fishermen across rural Solomon Islands, the management and staff of state-owned enterprises and authorities, national and regional NGOs and community-based organizations, media organizations, our pensioners and retirees, all men, women, boys and girls throughout Solomon Islands. And of course, we also remember, and I extend my Christmas greetings and New Year greetings to people with disabilities, to those who are sick in our hospitals, clinics and dispensaries, and those who are in prison. Mr. Speaker, may this festive season be a time of reflection, renewal, and unity. As we look ahead to 2026, I wish all Solomon Islanders and residents peace, good health, and continued commitment to nation building. Say, we are one people, we are one nation, we are Solomon Islands. May our Savior Jesus Christ bless us all with love and grace. May Merry Christmas, and a very happy New Year 2026. Mr. Speaker, I now move that this Honourable House do adjourn Sine-Die.
Thank you, all Prime Minister, honourable members. The question is that the adjournment of Parliament on Wednesday, 17 December 2025, the present meeting shall be concluded and Parliament shall then stand adjourned Sine-Die. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The motion is passed. Before the Prime Minister adjourns the Parliament, let me add, on behalf of Parliament, a reflection on the performance of the third meeting of this Parliament. Honourable members, as you know, this is the last sitting for this year, and it also concludes the third meeting of this Parliament. The third meeting commenced on Thursday, April 24th, 2025. This would bring the total number of sittings to 50 days, including today's sitting. 3 bills were presented, reviewed, and debated and passed by the House in its third meeting. They were the Special Economic Zone Bill 2024, the National Building Standards Bill 2025, and the Public Service Bill 2025. Also, 3 appropriation bills were presented, reviewed, debated, and passed by the House in this third meeting. They were the 2025 Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2025, the 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2025, and the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. As for the standing committees, the inquiries conducted and reports tabled only relates to the 6 bills mentioned. The Public Accounts Committee and the Bills and Legislation Committee conducted a total of 3 inquiries and tabled 3 reports, each respectively. The Public Expenditure Committee conducted 1 inquiry but did not complete it, and hence no report was tabled. There were several deliberative meetings held by other standing committees, but no inquiries were conducted and no reports were tabled by these standing committees. The number of private members' business introduced into this meeting is none, although there is scope in the relevant standing order provisions in our standing orders. There was no private members' business table on this during this meeting. Although 50 sitting days looks like a lot, it's not. The Parliament could have done more, especially the standing committees who supposedly performed a larger chunk of Parliament's oversight role. There ought to be more inquiries conducted into many issues of public interest to this nation and reports tabled for discussion and decision by the House with a view to improve and raise our citizens' quality of life. After all, this is the primary duty of elected representatives. Is it not? And although there were limited funds provided for the operation of standing committees, I strongly believe there is much that can be done with what is provided. Also, statement by ministers is underutilized as well, especially under Standing Order 24. As ministers of the Crown, you are accountable to the people of this country through this House by informing this nation of the actions and decisions you took regarding your respective ministerial portfolios. I hope to see more statements by Crown ministers, more inquiries conducted and reports tabled by the standing committees, and more private members' business dealt with by this House in its next meeting. That's the 4th meeting. The procedural tools are there for you to utilize in discharging your representational and oversight roles. I also hope that this House would agree or agrees and adopts a sitting calendar that would make planning and operation of this House more easier for everyone. Nonetheless, I sincerely acknowledge and appreciate all of you for your contributions to the deliberations of this House in its third meeting. That said, on behalf of the National Parliament of Solomon Islands, the Deputy Speaker, the clerk and staff of the National Parliament, I extend warm, sincere greetings, Christmas greetings to, firstly, His Excellency the Governor General and his family, the Honourable Prime Minister and your family, the Lord Chief Justice and his family, Ministers of the Crown and their families, the leader and members of the opposition group, the leader and member of the independent group, and of course, not forgetting all chairs of parliamentary select committees and their families, all members of parliament and their families, permanent secretaries and all officers serving in government ministries and agencies, all constitutional post holders, all judicial officers, heads of missions and members of the diplomatic corps, development partners, NGOs and non-state actors, the private sector, the provincial premiers, speakers and members of provincial assemblies, heads of churches, chiefs, traditional leaders, men, women, youth, children, and the sick and vulnerable in our hospitals, those in our correctional centers, and the good people of Solomon Islands. As the year 2025 draws to a close, let us take a moment to reflect with gratitude on God's steadfast guidance, protection, and abundant blessing over our nation and our people. The spirit of Christmas calls us once again to remember the humble birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, whose coming brings enduring hope, peace, and goodwill to all. May this season inspire us to celebrate with thankful hearts, strengthen our unity, compassion, and our shared dedication to the continued progress of our beloved Solomon Islands. And as we welcome 2026, may God's grace remain ever present with us, and may the new year bring renewed hope and lasting peace and prosperity to every family and community across our islands. Merry Christmas. God bless. Merry Christmas. Blessed New Year to you all. Are we? Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. You may now move the adjournment motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Say, I move that Parliament do now adjourn.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable members, it is now proposed that the Parliament do now adjourn. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, say no. Thank you. And according to the earlier resolution, the House is now adjourned sine die.